They go to a movie together. He's kind of sweet talking her during the movie. The Bone Collector was the movie, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And she lives in a really nice section in Charlotte. He's following her home and he's going to hang out with her. He blocks off. So she's driving along. So he's in the car behind her. She's driving. And then all of a sudden she gets cut off in the front. And Rae's behind her. And she's boxed in. What happens is that someone gets out of their car and shoots into her vehicle.
Oh my God.
Several times. And she can't move. She's stuck. She's shot several times, 8 months pregnant, and then Rae takes off, and the person he hired to hurt her and spent $2,000 fucking dollars on her to do this. $2,000. She gets on the phone. She has a cell phone, and she calls 911. And for 12 minutes, she's talking to an operator, and all she'll say is, "Rae Carruth, Rae Carruth, Rae Carruth did this to me. Please save my baby."
Oh my God. She's
losing so much blood. They get her into the hospital. Rae Carruth's name is put out there. And, and it's sort of like George Seifert was the coach then. He's like, "Well, I don't know what to do. We'll just have to put her on. You know, these women."
Yeah.
She's in the hospital for a month in a coma.
Oh my God.
And the baby lost a lot of blood. The baby lost air. It was starting.
Oh my gosh. So awful.
He pays $3 million for a bail so that he could be home. And the judge says, "Well, if she dies or the baby dies, you're going to have to come back here." And she dies a couple of weeks before Christmas. Her mother gets the baby. And it's like, you get the fuck out of here. Like, he's not a Carruth. His name is Chancellor. Rae goes on the run because he's supposed to turn himself in.
Right.
He goes to trial. They catch him and he goes to trial. And they brought his former girlfriends on, the defense did, to boost him up. And the women on the stand admitted, like, "No, he threatened me."
What the... Dude didn't pay for the right lawyers. That's like, that really backfired.
Yeah.
What a fucking garbage person.
Never admits it. He's like, "Oh, these guys, they wanted me to be in a drug deal with them, but I said no, so they were framing me by doing this." And he doesn't explain how he drove away. It doesn't explain goddamn thing. This poor woman dies. And the baby has developmental challenges because its brain was starving.
Yes.
He is sentenced to 18 years. 18.
Served more than that. Served life. Fuck that guy.
He was just released a few years ago, so he served 18 years. And it wasn't until the very, very, very end when they had to let him go. He's not on parole. They had to let him go. He wrote a letter to her mother and said, "I'm sorry for what happened and my part in it. Not what I did."
Yes.
It's all like, things happened to me and I happened to be there and I caused this tragedy.
Fucking narcissist.
The worst. And about 10 years ago, Sports Illustrated does a story, and it's The Boy They Couldn't Kill. That's about Chancellor, and he has CP, cerebral palsy. It takes him many, many years to learn how to walk. He was in a wheelchair for most of his life starting out. He can walk now.
That's amazing.
And she takes care of him. Rae's mother tried to sue for custody. Rae has tried to sue for custody.
What? No.
And it's like, no. Chancellor is an Adams. That's Chancellor. We're going to end it on a good note. This past June, Chancellor's 21 years old, and he graduated high school.
That's awesome.
And he went to a regular high school with the other kids, and he got to walk on the stage and get his diploma. And his mother is wherever she is, she's smiling.
Yeah.
And that's my last creep of the day. Our last creep of the day, Rae Carruth.
Good job, Margo. That's so great. Like, he's so lucky. Is such a good grandmother.
Oh,
and
she loves him, and she just looked at it as a blessing. Like, I lost my daughter, but I have him.
Yeah.
And I'm just what a
fucking monster. Yeah. Like, the fucking entitlement of just, I don't want to accept responsibility. for my actions.
That's on you, not on me.
Consequences are pesky. They're so pesky.
Just wear a fucking condom.
Yeah, seriously. What the fuck?
What the fuck? Normally we end with a long non-creep, but I think we could just give our short favorite like non-creeps in football. Did you have one?
Yeah. I was gonna say Colin Kaepernick is fucking rad, man.
He is fucking rad.
He's fucking rad, and how he's being treated by NFL is fucking bullshit. It's another reason why I don't watch football.
Yep.
I think that dude's a hero. I really do, and I'm here for it. I think he's a non-creep. There's a documentary on Netflix if y'all are interested in learning more. Who did you pick?
I picked Steve Young from the 49ers because
we're all about 49ers here, aren't we? Because Colin Kaepernick was also 49ers.
He's a big hunk of a guy. He's like adorable. Yeah. I always felt like I kind of, because Joe Montana just took over everything.
Yeah.
And he was treated like dog shit for just wanting to play football, which is all he wanted to do with his life. He's a big star. But I also want to say in 1988, it had a game against the Minnesota Vikings. Lance Rentzel, who they used to play for, he ran for 49 yards for a touchdown to win the game. So
wow.
That's my big non-creep. Steve Young.
These are good ones. These are good ones. And Joe Montana is still like, he's a huge star here.
Oh,
like
Jerry Rice.
People lose their shit when Joe Montana, because he shows up at Giants games sometimes and everyone's just, like everyone freaks out. He's such a star.
There's a Peacock show about him right now.
Yeah, you've been
like
you've been
6 or 7
it.
parts. Yeah, I've been talking about it on the Dorking Out show, which reminds me, we have another podcast. If you like the sound of our voices, we have a show called Dorking Out where we dork out about movies, and currently we have Pump Up the Volume.
It happened. It's streaming on HBO Max, and we finally did our long-awaited episode on that. And then our next episode will be with Adam, our podcasting brother from another mother. Adam Risky's coming back, and we're going to watch Waiting to Exhale, which I am currently in my Angela Bassett setting the fire and flicking her cigarette stage of my life, so I feel like it's gonna hit me in a good way.
I think it's gonna hit you in all the places.
I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm just fucking delighted that Adam's like, hey, can I come on and do Waiting to Exhale? I was like, oh my god, yes.
Feel free to follow us on social media. We love it when you use the Annie Potts GIF. We got one when you're giving us suggestions for creeps. And once again, for non-creeps, both of those are really important. Our email, once again, is whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. And Sonia, where can they find you?
You can find me at thesoniashow.com, where I am writing again, everybody. The floodgates are open. And you can find me at The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Where can people find you, Margo?
You can find me at Brooklyn Fitchick, mostly for Twitter and Instagram. My site is brooklynfitchick.com. Everybody, in the meantime, enjoy the sports ball this weekend. I'll be watching the ads.
Yeah, just enjoy your best football extravaganza. Please be safe.
Yes,
there's there's a lot of parties and people drink and go out. Just be safe. Be safe and wear your masks and wash your hands.
Don't be a creep.
Don't be a creep.
Thank you for listening to us talk about creeps. You can follow us at What a Creep Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
But don't follow us too closely.
You can email us your creepy stories at whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com.
But please keep your dick pics to yourself.